Well, Prime Minister Narendra Modi is to meet Finance Minister Arun Jaitley and other top officials today. Now, the ministers will be discussing the issues related to the declining situation of the economy and also the remedial measures that are needed to bolster growth in the country. Now, the meeting comes after the government data showed a steady decline in the GDP for the sixth straight quarter. Now, the second economic survey also predicts that the economy may not be able to achieve the targeted growth of 7.5%. owing to the deflationary pressures. Now, exports are also facing strong headwinds and the industrial growth is the lowest in 5 years. And also for more on this, we are joined in by my colleague Sumit Chaturvedi. Sumit, this is an interesting and an important development. The GDP numbers seem to be on a downward spiral, and now the Prime Minister is meeting with the Finance Minister. What can possibly be done here?
Sir, all is not well with the Indian economy, and PM knows about it. That's why he's taking stock of the economy today evening. So first thing that will be on his mind and what he will be briefed about and he'll be interested in knowing about would be jobs growth. But that has been quite dismal for a country like India, where almost 1 million people gets to the job, we can say that the waiting list every month. That's the biggest thing which will be discussed in that meeting. Second biggest thing would be definitely the state of the economy, including GDP, which has come down. Also, we are sitting 2.5 months after one of the biggest tax reforms were undertaken, GST. So GST has also seen many glitches happening especially after it was implemented since July 1st. So lots of things are on the radar of Prime Minister. Last week, CEA's Chief Economic Advisor Arvind Subramanian, he had briefed PM Modi about the overall state of economy, but it looks like he is not quite satisfied with whatever is happening around the economy, and that's why he is decided to take a stock of the economy. Certain decisions would be taken definitely, which we'll see over a period of time. Also, mind you, we are approaching a year of demonetization, an year when the note ban decision, one of the biggest decisions of the current government, took place. So all these keeping in mind, also the fuel prices are at 3-year high, causing inconvenience to customers. So keeping all this in mind, this was long overdue, and we are expecting some decisions to be taken today evening as far as the PM meeting with Finance Ministry officials and Finance Minister Jaitley is concerned.
Right, and also, Sumit, just coming to you on this question of the downward spiral, which the GDP numbers seem to have taken. There are two big reforms and two big measures which the government has taken, leaving the politics aside, looking at demonetization and also at the GST. Some have said that it was brought in without adequate measures being taken, without adequate thought having been put into the various processes that will be involved as a part of the GST. Will the government now make a course correction? And also there has been a lot of criticism in terms of the high fuel prices as well, because essentially people are being taxed more. That is driving up inflation, that is reducing the amount of money which people have as their expendable income, and hence there's not enough spending and demand which is there in the market. So will the government now sit up and bite the bullet? Will they admit that yes, a few mistakes have been made and now corrective measures will be taken?
Well, it looks very difficult, Saleh, frankly, because it doesn't appear to be a big mistake. Fundamentals of GST are strong. There's no point debating that. Fundamentals of GST have been very strong. Well, the problem has come in the implementation, which will come for a country with the size of India. Yes, there have been some problems in implementing GST. Traders are still facing problems, but none of the traders are saying that there is a fundamental problem in GST. What they are saying, it has eased the work for them, but yes, the problem is with the systems, the servers, the glitches in servers, and they have not even been able to file the returns. So in the short term, yes, there were some shortcomings that were expected, but not of this scale. But yes, there were shortcomings which were expected as far as GST is concerned. On the other hand, fuel price, we all know it's more of a state subject, Saleh, than a center subject, and little can government do here. Yes, what they can do is to bring fuel prices under GST. As Dharmendra Pradhan, Oil Minister, said yesterday, that fuel prices should be brought under the ambit of GST. But on that also, they have to get all states on board, because states, the levy on fuel, the petrol, diesel, is almost half that comes from the state taxes and half is the crude prices. So states will have to come together and bring down the taxes. Central can little do here. But yes, what is worrying is the GDP, the fall in GDP That should be the one factor to be discussed today. Also, jobs growth has been very dismal. That is another big point to be discussed today.
Absolutely indeed, Sumit. Thank you very much indeed. We'll have to leave it there. That, of course, is the big concern which the Modi Sarkar will have to look at: creation of jobs and getting the economy back on track.